Hello, my name is Brianna Garrett. I'm currently enrolled in the Oral Communications Summer 2024 semester. For week 6, our assignment was to answer 2 interview questions using the STAR method. I will answer 2 of those questions using the STAR method. The first question I will answer is describe a situation in which you were able to to convince someone successfully, persuading them to see things your way. I used to work on a dementia unit in a nursing home in my town, and I was a night shift nurse. I would come in at 7:30 in the evening until 7:30 in the morning. I worked with a lot of patients who had severe Alzheimer's dementia behaviors, and a lot of the behaviors would start on my shift, being that I came in for overnight. There was a night where I had to sit with an especially unruly patient who thought that I had been holding her at the facility against her will. My task was to give her her nightly medications, which is a task in and of itself, but I was able to sit with her for a few hours and just listening to her and conversating with her. I was able to reorient her to, we were at her facility and her family knew where she was, and that her husband knew where she was and that she was safe. And after giving her a few snacks, I was able to convince her to take her medications, which in the end resulted in her falling asleep and having a good rest of the night, which was nice. So it came out well in my favor, which is hard to do, going from kidnapper to friend. It was kind of touch and go because that did happen a lot. But it seemed that the more you would listen to patients and converse with them, it would be easier for them to do what you needed. And just being a friend or a shoulder to cry on, it seems to be much more successful to convince people with dementia, which is a very, very debilitating mental disorder that really deteriorates your mentality and completely changes people inside and out, which is very hard to see. And so it's very stressful for patient as well as nurses like me to understand what the patient's going through. And it's just very difficult for the patient. So it was a good time working on that unit, being able to get the experience that I did. The next question I will answer is an example of a time when I used good judgment and logic in problem solving. Where I work now, I have to listen for a lot of minute details, things that seem like they wouldn't necessarily be a huge concern that actually will make the world a difference. Um, there are many times where I have to listen for underlying issues that don't seem to poke out immediately to me, and using my gut instincts, I rely a lot on that in my current position. I remember there was one person specifically where I had her call and she just kept complaining of this weird feeling that she couldn't get away, and it had been going on for about 2 weeks and just didn't know where it would come from, and it would just be random. And after asking many questions and understanding kind of what was happening and being able to piece together, it turns out that, of course, it was something cardiac related and she immediately needed to be evaluated. Which she was able to get at the ER, and it turns out that she was having a heart attack. So just listening for, weird small details like tingling or sleepiness or back pain just kind of helped guide me into problem solving and just tearing down big things into smaller issues and piecing together information that normally wouldn't go together to make a full puzzle of what was going on. Um, she did get treated and made a full recovery, which was nice. And we were both happy that she called that day. Um, so I really hope this was enjoyable and that my interview questions were entertaining and are a good example of using the STAR method in interviews. Have a wonderful day.